guys from the Ready Reserve, 5,000 this year, are not very happy about it. In fact, a third who've been called up haven't shown up. But if old soldiers never die, as the saying goes, the Army isn't letting them fade away. Many of those who answered the call have come here for training. Fort Jackson, South Carolina, a place none of them really expected to be. In fact, very few expected to be mobilized at all, even though some knew that technically they still had a reserve obligation. How did you react?
I started crying for about 2 hours. I couldn't stop because I knew I was going to have to leave my babies.
Specialist Carey Trevino was called up in August. She's 31 and has 3 kids. The youngest is a 7-month-old baby boy, but she'll be leaving him behind when she goes to Iraq. And you could be gone for how long?
A year and a half.
It's a long time. It'll be over 2 by the time you get home.
I also have a 21-month-old daughter, and she's most of them probably won't really know me when I come back. So that's going to be hard to deal with.
I need to serve my country, and the call has come out, so I'm doing it.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Chief Warrant Officer Margaret Murray did her active duty back in the 60s. She's 55 years old and 4 feet 8 inches tall. Her M16 is almost as big as she is. But that didn't stop her from qualifying as a marksman last week. You find the role unusual? That the Army is calling up, if you'll forgive me, a woman in her 50s?
No, although I think what they need to look at is our abilities to perform maybe in a tactical environment.
You could wind up in a place like Fallujah.
Good.
You find that daunting?
Scary.
I would have thought so.
Yes.
But you're not hesitating.
No, I need to do my job.
But, I mean, you did your job back in the 60s, didn't you? You've been in the reserves for 40 years.
Almost. I did, but I did not retire, and so now the Army's calling me back to service, and I'm here to do it.
Relax, aim, and sway.
There are 110,000 men and women in the Ready Reserve right now. They generally don't train or get paid or belong to units, but they can be called up in case of war or national emergency.
Place weapons on the shelters like that.
This, in fact, happened during the first Gulf War when 20,000 Ready Reservists were mobilized for 120 days. This time around, they'll be there for up to 2 years. Private George Saya is keeping his obligation as best he can. He may not look tough, but he's very tough on the guys who are not reporting for duty.
When you abandon your country in time of warfare, I feel that knowing what your obligation is, I believe that it is an act of cowardice.
You'd be hard-pressed to call this woman a coward, even though she is resisting the call-up. Mary, as we're calling her, is a senior special agent with a federal law enforcement agency. Does undercover work in the war on drugs, which is why we shot her in disguise. Is your work ever dangerous?
Yes, you come up against a lot of big-time criminals, and they're prepared to shoot to get out of certain situations.
So your reluctance, if that's the proper word, to go into the Army now is not because you're scared of danger?
No. My reluctance is because once I thought my time was up, and they're telling me that it's